for you.
And this is Saturday, April the 13th, and you have indeed entered overtime, highlighted by the best Saturday weather of the spring so far, which we hope is a harbinger of things to come. We've got plenty to get to on this busy weekend on a number of different fronts, and we'll start this encapsulation on the ladies' side as we have both revealing softball action to sort through and a busy weekend on the pitch thanks in no small part to the Hannibal tournament. Eric Hill's Hannibal Lady Pirates hosting. They continue to get some state rankings love. Today they looked much more like a state ranked team than they did on Friday, taking apart Southern Boone, and it starts with Abby Martin. She's so creative. Little flip over to Ashley Davis, and that is easy peasy scoring at that point, but the Pirates aren't done. Check out the ball movement here. This the encapsulation of the beautiful game as Macy Behrens with the perfect cross to Allie Felkener. Beautiful stuff. 2-0 Pirates at this point. What a way to start the morning. We're not done. Abby Martin is fouled in the box by the keeper at that point. That's an instant PK. Ashley Davis is going to step up and take it, finding the back of the net. It's 3-0 in favor of the Lady Pirates. Hannibal up 4-0 at this point. Ava Turner going to shut down Southern Boone's scoring opportunity with a one-on-one stymie right there. Good stuff at the back end. How about a little Keegan Greening? We're going to play some appreciation for the people in the back as well as she gets the corner kick. I believe the keeper might have knocked it in. Nevertheless, it's still 5-0 Pirates. They win today in bounce-back fashion, 8-0 after the tie yesterday. But give Hannibal credit. They did kind of rally and get out of some bad points yesterday to force the tie. And then today, the fun continued for the Lady Pirates as they take down St. Charles West on the night side. 5-1. The Pirates are 2-0-1 in their event with that tie, playing some really good soccer. They've been very fun, but the championship of the Hannibal tournament goes to Quincy Notre Dame, which ran the table with 3 straight wins, 2 more wins today for the Lady Raiders as they get the job done against St. Charles West 6-1 in that early game. Michaela Patton had the hat trick, and then later in the afternoon, I believe Q&D had 4 different goal scorers in the win over Perryville, including Sage Stratton. So big time showing for the Lady Raiders, who continue to gather some neat momentum. Speaking of soccer, Quincy High School trying to bounce back from a loss to Springfield in Jacksonville, and we learned today that Jacksonville has one of the best keepers in the state in Chloe Kuhn. I didn't just learn that. I believe the Blue Devils learned that as well. She was really, really good. As you're about to see right here, early on, first scoring opportunity for Quincy High School off the beautiful cross. This is going to be Bree Leonard, and she's going to be absolutely denied at the net. Oh, by the foot right there by Chloe Kuhn. Not a lot of reward for that because seconds later, check this out. Ryan Moore going to launch the corner kick, and Bree Leonard's medulla oblongata, which is considerable. That means she's smart. Pretty header for her, made it 1-0 at that point. More from Ryan Moore. This is why she is a D1 player. Long distance volley. Chloe Kuhn can't do anything with it. Advantage Blue Devils. They're up 2-0. But you know what? Chloe Kuhn's going to have some revenge right here on Bree Leonard. Absolutely stymied in this one from point blank range. Beautiful save from Miss Kuhn. She deserved far better than this final score because she's really good. Bree would get her revenge right here. Pretty move for her. Check her out with a little pinball action into the back of the net. Makes it 3-0 in favor of the Blue Devils at that point. Again, more good stuff from Chloe Kuhn right here. This one off the bicep, she saves that. Beautiful stuff right there, but the Blue Devils not to be denied. Huge day for Taylor Ruth. Man, I tell you what, this is one of the prettier goals we've seen all season. First the run through, what, 3 different Crimson defenders, and then check out the way she kind of knocks this ball off the back of the post and caroms that home as well. Extended the lead out to 4-0. We're going to show it to you in slow motion because this, again, was a thing of beauty from Miss Ruth as she goes through everybody. And this was kind of endemic of Quincy High, kind of in bounce-back mode from the Springfield loss. Looked awfully good today. Again, did it against a really great keeper. And win today, do the Blue Devils 8-0 to kind of get their mojo back. Fun match to watch today. Quincy High School gets it done, as I mentioned. 8-0 was your final on the day. Let's do some softball scores. We had plenty of them going on out there today. At the Tolono Unity Cluster, Quincy Notre Dame loses to the host school 10-5, but takes down T-Town 13-4 to make it a split on the day. Pittsfield unmerciful today to Alton, 6-0 in the first game, and then dropping the hammer in the second game, 19-4. Lila Simon with a home run in game number 1. She went into the circle in game number 2 and kept Alton at bay. Huge win for the Saukeys. Again, last weekend they upset Macomb. Pittsfield's kind of a gathering storm. A lot of young talent. Don't sleep on the Lady Saukeys this softball season. Elsewhere today, another team that we had hoped to see today. My timing just wasn't very good with anything. Triopia is the deal. They dismantled Payson Seymour, who played with Pleasant Hill earlier this week, to a one-run game. Triopia getting it done. Lucy Dione, 3 for 4 at the plate in that game. She had a home run and 3 ribbies. And then later in the day, it would be Triopia taking down Unity in an even bigger rout in that one. I believe it was 14-1 is the way that shook down. Check that, 13-1. Miley Tracy, one of those names, one of those kids we had hoped to see today to kind of get you a little better vantage point on how she's been in the circle. She was awfully good in this one. Struck out 12 Lady Mustang batters in the victory today. Good stuff there. And then in the crossover game between the locals, Unity no match for Payson Seymour today as Payson Seymour bounces back. Josie Fessler hitting out of the 9-hole. She was really effective today with 3 ribbies to lead her team to victory in that one. Final count was 16-1. Elsewhere in the docket, Camp Point Central playing at the Tuscola cluster gets a big win in the morning over Oakwood 9-1, but falls to a really good Marshall Lion team 14-1 in that second contest. Pleasant Hill today playing at the Plains cluster. They beat Hardham 15-0. Ava Wombles on, or I should say in the circle for that one, had a one-hitter and struck out 12. We had a very pleasant game in the second game at Pleasant Plains. Pleasant Hill versus Pleasant Plains. Man, I tell you what, high drama on the diamond indeed. Great new surface there, and it starts with McKinley Lowe setting the tone in the top of the first, striking out 2 of the first 3 batters from Plains she faced. I think she knows a lot of these kids from travel softball, and there are some really good hitters in that Plains lineup. So good opening statement for her, and then she was even better in the second, striking out the side as part of a 13K day. But Faith Nestler, really good for Plains as well, would keep Pleasant Hill's bats at bay. We don't have a hit in this game until the bottom of the third. Hannah Hill, remember that name, she's important today. Hannah Hill gets this little ball to flare in. Her name almost like a Vampire Weekend song. Love Hannah Hill. Great piece of hitting there, but she could do no more from that. Later, hey, look at this. Plains has a runner at third, but McKinley Lowe having none of it. She gets the strikeout there to get out of the jam. Bottom of the 6th, oh, the young freshman, Miss Barrowman, with a single to set things up. And a batter later, it is McKinley Lowe with back-to-back hits right here. But unfortunately, Miss Barrowman got caught off second base, so the rally dies. This, my friends, is the bottom of the 6th. Check it, top of the 7th in this one. Anna Nestler, finally somebody hits McKinley Lowe, and man, did she hit her. An RBI double, made it 1-0. You're thinking Pleasant Hill is in danger. Pick it up, first batter, bottom of the 7th. Pleasant Hill, the home team. That's a triple right there by Miss Peebles. Man, she legged it out, and what a way to start the inning. She's excited, she should be. Did I mention Hannah Hill yet? Back to the plate, and check her out. She's gonna hit this ball just deep enough to at least cause some excitement on the potential sac fly. Great slide by Miss Peebles. She's safe. She's gonna let you know. And yes, Pleasant Hill has tied this game, and the drama was not done yet. A little bit later in the frame, they call her Miss Clutch. Check her out. Miss Henderson driving the single right there. Emma with a nice piece of hitting right there. Bases loaded, and you know what? McKinley Lowe is going to draw not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 straight balls for a walk-off walk in this one. Not really the way you want to see it in terms of sexy highlights, but I tell you what, it got the job done as Pleasant Hill gets the win. 2-1 your final. By the way, McKinley Lowe will be the subject of our Student Athlete of the Week coming up on Wednesday. No one more deserving. She is certainly a great pitcher, one of the state's leaders in strikeouts last year, but also a really neat kid off the field as well. So again, that's coming your way Wednesday. And we've got plenty more overtime straight ahead. We had a massive baseball comeback from one of the area's best teams. We got a chance to watch today, and you'll get a chance to watch it when overtime continues.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
Not gonna lie to you fine people, Brady Lowe pitching performances for Quincy High are appointment viewing. He is really, really good, taking on Moline. Game 1 of a twin bill today, and yeah, they're playing at QU Stadium. That's what Brady Lowe does. Blows the ball past people. He's got great movement on that thing. He also had some great defensive help, although this was weird from Tykel Hammers. Looked like he misjudged it. He's so freaking athletic. What a great play by Tykel. A little bit later in this one, Jansen Lawson hits the slow dribbler, beats the throw. Not the contact he wanted, but he's aboard at that point. Nate Conrad, Nate Dogg at the plate, going to single just over short, and we've got runners at the corners for the Blue Devils trying to pull off the upset of Moline. How about Owen Zanger time? Going to step up and drill a fly ball to shallow center field. It gets caught. Mr. Lawson is going to appropriately tag and score, and the Blue Devils had the early 1-0 lead in this game. Brady Lowe pitching with a lead. That feels pretty strong, and yes, he does that. He gets the strikeout right here. Moline, however, would take a 2-1 lead later in this frame. Lowe would get himself out of the jam because he's got the stuff to do that, even against a loaded lineup like Moline, and yeah, that's just nasty down in the zone to get him out of that jam. Kyle Taylor, who you already saw this week with his defensive wizardry, hit ball hard up the middle here, hits off the pitcher, no play at first, sets up Tykel Hammers to tie this thing up. He's going to single to left, bring in a run. It's 2-2 in that next inning. Then Owen Zanger's going to hit a ball hard to third. It is not cleanly fielded. He's safe at first. The run would score on the pass ball in this one, but unfortunately for the Blue Devils, they get a late rally in their face from Moline and lose the first game of the Twin Bill 5-3. And the second game was just kind of, for lack of a better word, stinky if you're a Blue Devil fan. Not a whole lot to celebrate in that one as Moline wins 14-1. Quincy High School now 8-10 on the season. We had a Liberty Slam today. Central taking on Porta at Liberty. 3 runs in the second inning in this one. Runners on for Nate Peters. The pop fly to short is dropped. The runner scores. Not much offense for the Panthers, though, after that. Porta AC is a pretty darn good club. How about a little Cullen Likes right here with a 1-run lead. The strikeout, the high heat looking, working for him at this point. Likes gets another batter chasing right here. But nobody could hold down Porta's offense today. They had an RBI single here later in this frame and end up winning today over Central 9-4. I believe they beat Liberty, but my game changer never posted a final score as Porta was up 12-14 on Liberty. Sorry we don't have that one for you. But again, there was no final adjustment made on the game changer today. All right, let's give you some scores from around the region today, baseball-wise. Third place game of the Tiger Showcase. West Hancock was down 3-0 and exploded for 17 runs in the top of the 4th inning. I'm not sure we've seen that very often around here. Grayson Conkright, no real surprise in that one, was a big contributor to the Titans' comeback win. He had a home run. Again, as I've told you people over and over again, nobody gets more value per swing for effort-wise than Grayson Conkright. He had a home run, had a couple of ribbies in that one as well, 2 of them, as West Hancock rallies back to get the win, and third place at the Tiger Showcase. By the way, both those teams lost earlier in the day. West Hancock to LSV and Beardstown to Algonquin, I believe it was, who was the other 2 teams in the tournament that went on to the championship game. Elsewhere today, back at the Liberty Cluster, early in the day, Central beats Liberty 12-2. Connor Griffin, big day at the plate yet again. Scored 3 runs, had a couple of ribbies to kick off the day over in Liberty. Also on the docket today at the Triopia Cluster, man, Unity has caught fire of late. The Mustangs riding the arm of Cody Schaefer to a win over Payson Seymour 6-1. Cody with 10K in that one. Also in that same affair today, it was Unity beating, in the second game, Unity beating Triopia 12-0. Avery Freeze with the win in that second contest. Okay, Macomb today a winner over Peoria Heights in that one. Big day at the plate for Langdon Lambert, who went 3 for 4 with a couple of ribbies to lead his team to victory. Brimfield, who's very, very good, beats Illini West 7-4 today. Marion County Cluster, Marion County loses to Atlanta, but comes back and posts a win in their second game over La Plata. Nick Kelso, big today in that second game. 3 for 4 at the plate with a couple of ribbies in that one. Also, rough day for the Hannibal Pirates at Timberland. First game, really big day for Kane Wilson. He went 4-5 at the plate with 2 ribbies. Second game, all Timberland. They win that one by the final count of 18-1. Also today, Route Catholic hosting their own little shindig today, and they end up beating Gillespie 13-3. Second game, they took on Rochester. Yeah, Route swimming in some deep waters against big schools. Top of the first, Rochester looks every bit of that. Jack Swaney helping contribute to an early 2-0 lead with a nice piece of hitting there. Brady Turner would settle in, though, nicely. He's got good stuff. Changes his speeds very, very nicely. Strikeout here to get out of the jam. Bottom of the first, he gets a little support. Bryson Mossman, he's not just for basketball anymore. Nice piece of hitting, a leadoff double for him. Set the wheels in motion for this. Isaac Long is going to hit into a fielder's choice to the right side. This should have been a double play. Great slide by Conrad Charpentier. Philly! Beautiful stuff from him to break it up. It's 2-1 at that point. Route's offense was stymied effectively the rest of the next 5 innings. Check out the play by the second baseman. Goodness gracious, Rochester's got some athletes, but if you follow football, you knew that already. Disastrous top of the 6th for Route, 2 runs plated. It's 5-1 already off the air right here, almost 6-1, but check out our guy Isaac Long behind the plate making the tag, so keeping it there. So remember, 5-1 better than 6-1. The anatomy of a comeback starts with Nolan Turner leading off the bottom of the 6th with a single, and then it's Conrad Charpentier. I apologize. I lost this one in the sun. Doesn't happen to me often. I think I'm going to have a chance to make it up to Conrad a little later this inning. That plates a run right here as Nolan Turner turns on that basketball speed of his and gets home. That's now just a 5-2 game at this point. More to come. Brady Turner, the ground out to the right side, is going to plate Charpentier. Made it 5-3. That's the first out of the inning. 2 outs now. Dalton Brown, one of those rare right-handed hitters. There's not many of them for Route. Swinging bunt. And man, I tell you what, this play meant everything. There were 2 outs already. He beats it, allows a run to score at that time to make it 5-4, and keeps the inning alive. How about Eli Olson starting things back up from the left side of the plate? That's a single, and then the big blow right here comes courtesy of A.J. Charpentier, another right-handed hitter. There's 2 of them, which is rare for Route. Usually they only have 1, if not any. They got a lot of left-handed bats in this one. We're tied up at 5. Never have seen this before. Bryson Mossman at the plate. This ball bounces off the plate and jumps over the concession stand, puts runners, sets them up for bases loaded, and then a bases loaded walk right here is going to make it a 6-5 lead in favor of Route. I mentioned there would be redemption highlight-wise for Chris Duerr and Conrad Charpentier. Not that he needed redemption, I did. Followed this one off the bat and perfectly clears the bases. A little philanthropy. I can't talk tonight. Philanthropy, if you want to call it that. Route Catholic gets the comeback win over Rochester. 9-5 is your final. Those dudes are very, very good. Speaking of very, very good, Davenport North is usually awesome in soccer. Big test for Fort Madison, who had come in strong, riding high, playing some great soccer. Davenport North is still a problem. They beat Fort Madison today 4-1. We also had our inaugural fishing event today up in Spring Lake and Macomb. And man, your winner from Liberty. They've got a fishing powerhouse brewing up there. Gavin Fessler, Carson Bockham bring in 17.04 pounds of fish for first place today. It was Liam Bennett and Zeke Castleberry of Pittsfield finishing second. And is there anything Chance Little can't do? He and Owen Barber finished third today for Winchester West Central with 10 pounds, 0.13 ounces in that one for the third place win. So congratulations to all of our anglers out there. And we'll have more overtime for you straight after this.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
Hey, a breakthrough for John Wood baseball today, sweeping both ends of a doubleheader from visiting Lewis and Clark. Tyler Dance with his first collegiate win in that first game. 5 innings pitched, no runs allowed. Again, his first win for Trout. Good stuff for that guy. 2 wins for the Blazers. I know Adam Hightower is going to like that as his team starts to put things together. Also today, Baker versus Culver Stockton. All Baker in this doubleheader on the road for the Wildcats as they lose both ends. Also today, big win, bounce back fashion for Quincy University over Indy today. Mr. DuPont, a couple of home runs and 6 ribbies to lead the way there. And on the college signing front, John Wood volleyball cleaned up on Friday in its own backyard yet again, landing the very versatile pace and outside hitter, Jasmine Chatton.
So I've been playing volleyball since I was in 5th grade, and I just want to continue volleyball. I don't want to stop it. So I'm hoping after John Wood, I can go to QU for 2 years, and then after that, I can become a volleyball coach and continue volleyball for the rest of my life. I constantly talk on the court, and when you don't have people talking, it's actually really hard to play volleyball. So I feel like since I've already worked with the college team too, that they talk all the time too, so it matches my energy perfectly. I like that it's close to home and it's like Payson, it's small and I can be myself around there. I don't have to be around a bunch of people. And I've already met the volleyball team and they're very welcoming and nice, and I'm looking very forward to working with them. My long-term goal is to teach elementary, and I would like to teach kindergarten because I love kids and I just love working with them, and they honestly make me happy.
And let's look at a little softball for you as well today. Culver Stockton swept on the road. John Wood today swept at home.